Hello, everybody. My name is Climate Foundation Platform, and today we're going to speak to Ron Goodlin. And he is a dentist, doctor, and he went to some special tour with his group, and then amazing things happen in his life, which change everything for Ron. And we're going to dig down more about his story. Before we start, let's watch this trailer.
It is magical, traveling to different places to photograph animals in their natural environments. Until that day that changed me forever. Sending me on a journey of discovery to find out what nature is trying to tell us. And you will be shocked at what I found.
Say goodbye to ice.
Imagine this like a house of cards, everything fall apart and collapse.
Well, when it comes to animals, pretty much mass extinction.
If phytoplankton were to disappear from the sea, then we will all die.
The way we take action is too slow.
There's a lot of talk about addressing climate change, but if you look at the performance over time, there has been very little progress.
The melting of the permafrost is releasing incredibly high amounts of methane, which is a more lethal greenhouse gas than CO2.
A lot of corruption.
It's money that buys all the power.
Well, what can myself as an individual do? We have to take blame for it.
Hello, Ron. Thank you so much for joining with us.
Thank you very much for having me. It's a real honor to be with you, and to have my film recognized is quite a special accomplishment.
Thank you so much, Ron. And his film was awarded in our film festival back in 2023 as a best audience watched film audience award he received, and we are very happy that we had an opportunity to watch this film together with the audience, and their response was amazing. So today we want to know more about Ron's journey behind the scene. What happened exactly, and how one dentist um, decided to leave his main profession, but at the same time, he's decided to tell some story of the life, other lives apart from the human life, in this planet Earth, their story to us. So tell me something about whale call, Ron. I heard that this was your first call to make a change.
It's quite an interesting story. I've always been a photographer, and I've always loved to photograph nature and wildlife. And I've always tried to photograph with a purpose, and the purpose is being to bring attention to the plight of wildlife in this changing environment. And one day I got a new camera that had the ability to shoot some video, and I did a little bit of video on that trip, and I decided that this was pretty cool. And then along the way, we noticed we were actually photographing penguins, and we noticed some whales down in the bay, and we went down to explore them. And um, it's going to sound ridiculous, and I'll preface this by saying that I don't speak whale. Um, but the whale talked to us, and we would make noises, and we would talk to the whale, and the whale would respond. So there was definitely an interaction there, and it was such an emotional event for me that I thought about what could I do to help the plight of the whales and other animals. And I decided that doing video would give a better, um, it would be easier to tell the story and create an impact on the people who are watching the stories if I did video. So, um, hey, I'm 70 years old now, and this happened about 5 years ago. So
But you don't look wrong. I mean, you look, under 50. Honestly, you look very, very young.
wearing the hat so you don't see how bald I am. Like, so, yeah, I told my wife, I said, I'm going to make a film. She go, yes, dear. Okay. And, I learned about video and, video production and I went out and I took some of the film that I had already done and, went out and finished this movie about, what nature is trying to tell us about climate change.
Mhm. Lovely, lovely. And Ron, you ever been to any film school?
No, I have not, but I've learned online. I've joined a group called The Art of Documentary. And so it's an online course, and I learned a lot from them. They also have some really good opportunities to call in, and you can get help from the experts. So along that process, I used them. Um, but a friend of mine told me about somebody that he knows, and I called him. His name is Larry Weinstein, and he's a producer, a very famous producer, and he watched my show, he watched my movie, and he gave me some ideas as to how to improve it. And he said, "Well, I'm not really interested in working on it, but I'll help you along the way." And he said, "You need a good editor." So he gave me the name of a guy named Steve Westlack, who a very famous Hollywood producer, Academy Award winning, sorry, editor, an Academy Award winning editor. And Steve helped me a lot. But again, he said he's not willing to do the work, but he said he would be willing to help me. Excuse me. So, I sent him the film and he sent me back 29 pages of
Mm.
notes of what I could do to help edit the film better, and we kept going back and forth like that until we had a finished product. So, although he didn't actually do the work, he supervised all the editing. So, I had 2 really good mentors to help me with the film.
Beautiful, beautiful. And what was their thought about the film, where focus towards the uh, whales, seal, turtles? How they were thinking about it? I mean, did they ever work with any film like this before?
No, they've never done anything like this before. Um, and my idea was almost too educational. And they told me that the story was really about me and my journey. So we kind of flipped things around a little bit and very uncomfortable to have yourself as the subject of a film. It's not an easy thing to do.
Hmm.
But we felt that that would be the strongest impact and help bring in the stories about all the animals and so people can understand the plight that they're going through because of climate change.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I was watching your documentary, and I seen after that the whale call when you speak to whale for 14, 15 minutes, and when you come back to that boat. So that was the moment somebody captured, and you were so emotional.
Yeah, it was incredible. Um, to have an interaction like that with an intelligent being that's definitely trying to communicate with you. Of course, I don't know what the whale said to me because, like I said before, I don't speak whale, but it was an incredibly emotional moment that's changed my life forever.
That's the moment we need in every human being life. Mhm. Moving forward, you done some connection with Arnold Bloom as well, right?
Yes. So when I decided to embark on this project, I realized that I didn't have the knowledge to be an expert in climate change. So I started learning about it, reading books and going online, and I realized that I needed to go deeper. So this was during the time of COVID. So I couldn't go and take a university course. Also, I was still working as a dentist at the time. Um, so I decided to take an online course from the University of California in Berkeley. And when I finished the course, it took me a few months to do that. And when I finished the course, I really felt that I had the knowledge and the expertise behind me to be able to proceed with the film. And I decided the starting point of the film would be to go and talk to him down in California and interview him. So I did that, and while I was there was all kinds of wildfires going on, so that led me to go and do some filming about the wildfires and talk about the importance of climate change and the wildfires that are occurring. And then that led me to the next stage and the next stage and the next stage, and that's how I met Dr. Cameron Barrows and Dr. Pablo Gomez. So I really ended up speaking to a lot of experts in the field to and listening to their research areas. Dr. Barrows was a fascinating guy. I mean, you don't really think of climate change when you're thinking of the desert, but here he is studying the Coachella Valley toad lizard and the effects of climate change on that. So his his interview I found was incredibly interesting as well. So I think there were a lot of different things that brought some really good information into the film. And then to be able to talk to Captain Paul Watson was an incredible thing. I mean, he was so magnanimous about giving up his time for this. And shortly thereafter, he ended up in jail in Greenland,
Uh-huh.
where he was incarcerated because of the whale activities that he did in the past. So, fortunately, he's out now and doing quite fine. So, yeah, I mean, it was quite an interesting journey, not just with the animals that I saw, but meeting these different experts in climate change.
And I'm really happy to see your dedication behind it. You went to gain the knowledge. You went to meet these people who had the whole Bible about the climate change, I will say, and meeting all these people gives you a lot of information to work hard, more harder to make this beautiful documentary for us. Um, Moving forward, I have noticed, there was a picture. I think you went to Hawaii with your grandchildren, and I saw turtles. They're coming to the seaside, and one of the image I saw, that turtle has harpies.
Yeah, that was heartbreaking to see that.
Yeah.
And during my research, I discovered that these turtles can um, contract herpes virus, and they're not 100% sure why, but the only common denominator seems to be that human waste is being pumped out into the oceans, and these animals are getting human herpes virus, and they have all these bumps and lumps all over them, and they go blind because these tumors go over their eyes and they get into their fins, and so they can't swim anymore and they'll die from it. So it's just so sad to see what we as human beings are doing to our environment. And hopefully these things will bring this attention to people and they can start making changes to help our world.
Yes. And what do you think, Ron? How filmmaker like yourself, all the activists, how they are doing right now while the climate change is getting out of hand? Like the things are out of control. How we all can boost it a little bit more?
You know, It's interesting because over the time that I've been working on this film and now showing it, climate change seems to have gone out of vogue. Not many people are talking about it anymore, which is unbelievable to me. Why somehow, the political situation has changed, and nobody seems to be talking about climate change anymore, which is really a horrible, horrible thing. It's such an important issue that we're having, probably one of the most important issues that we'll ever face in our lifetime. And we have to really try and keep it in the forefront so that people understand that this is something that isn't going to go away. The one thing that I want people to take away from with my film is that if everybody does just a little bit, it could make a huge impact. And the experts are saying the same thing. I think that we're moving away from fossil fuels. It's
Yep.
going to take time. I hope we can do it in time before we create permanent damage to our world. And I don't know, I think that human nature, Dr. Pablo Gomez was talking about this in the film, that human nature is such that we don't really seem to do anything unless it really affects us personally. And that's when we'll move a change. So, that I think that once we get into a real crisis situation, which we're there now, but people aren't figuring it out quite yet. But once we get into a real crisis situation, that's when we'll make some big changes. Um, they're making small changes now, but we need to make some big changes. And again, if everybody does a little bit, that's going to have a huge impact.
I feel like everybody have to be mindful. And I mean, from My Name is Climate Foundation, that's what we are focusing on. We want to um, make them think that the climate is another entity, human being. The way you are, you feel pain, climate, the outside atmosphere, they do feel that pain, when you hurt them. What do you think? What we can do with the young one? How we can bring this awareness so they can grow with this information that okay, I have to do something every day of my life to protect my environment.
It's going to be a very long-term educational situation, but the kids are going to become aware of it much more than our generation. Like, I'm really worried about my grandchildren. I really am very concerned about the environment that they're going to be forced to live in and hopefully survive in. And they're gonna have to realize that they're gonna have to do without things. We have to move towards sustainability, that you can't go out and buy the fancy clothes and the fancy shoes and all the things over and over and over again. We have to learn how to reuse and economize. Um, to manufacture all these things that people want, that the advertisers are trying to influence us, that convince us that we need these things that we really don't need. um, the energy that's required to do all these things is just massive. I spent a lot of time with the kids in Africa. We were teaching there, and I was actually doing some dentistry down there. And these kids don't have shoes. They'll walk a mile or 2 miles to get water, come back, and then they'll walk 2 more miles to go to the school, or 5 miles with no shoes on, wearing these tattered rags that are handed down from year to year. And these kids are so happy. They're wonderful, beautiful children, and they have nothing, but they're happy children. So it shows me that, all the excess that we have in our lives is really not necessary. And so we have to worry about those kind of things. We also have to, be careful with our water. We have to economize on the use of energy, and try and get rid of these fossil fuels. Um, the cars should be going to EVs, and the batteries and changes that are being made, going to lithium ion batteries, and now they're looking at hydrogen cells. So I think the technology is going to be there when we need it. It's just not happening fast enough.
Yes, it is. It is true, and I noticed that in your documentary, um, that you made some sacrifice. You used to travel to see your grandchildren 4 times a year, and then you decided to see them once a year. That was painful, but same time, that's how the change starts.
Yeah, it's such a difficult decision to make, but I feel like I'm doing it for them, for their future.
Of course.
Yeah, so instead of visiting them often, we come down one time and we stay for a longer period of time so we could be with them. And that's where I am right now. Um, this background that you see is not real. This is not what our house looks like. Um, so yeah, it's important to do whatever you can to just do those little things. Don't let your car idle while you're sitting in the car. Just turn the car off. Um, plan your route. Go shopping once a week instead of going shopping for food every day. Try and use your car less. Walk or use a bicycle to try and get places. Anything that you can do to reduce your carbon footprint. And if everybody does that, it's going to make a huge difference in the world.
Yeah. The personal change you did is like you stop eating meat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. One of the biggest proponents of climate change is the release of methane from cattle. And so, if we all reduced our meat intake, we wouldn't need as much cattle to support that industry, and we could reduce the amount of methane. So, um, I love meat. I gotta tell you, my daughter's now vegetarian, which is great, but we've tried to go the route where we only eat meat once or twice a week. So, you know, uh, cut down on the hamburgers and cut down on the steaks and cut down on all that stuff, and you'll also lead a healthier lifestyle.
I think your and my story is similar. So I made few sacrifice like that. Actually, I stopped eating meat. I don't eat like okay, 1 day a week or something. So it's all gone from my life, and I'm happy. So when I'm talking about the climate change, I'm honest with myself. If I'm advocating about climate change, um, did I make any change in my personal life before I speak or giving a preach about climate change to somebody else? So that's how I feel. We have to be honest. I mean, this is the message I like to tell to all climate advocate activists as well. Let's have some change in your personal life before we go out and speak about the climate change and trying to give some information to them.
If you're gonna talk the talk, you gotta walk the walk.
Yes, I like that. I really like that. Cool. How is your upcoming mission now? I mean, what are you doing exactly now in relation with the climate change?
Yeah, so I've sold my practice, and I'm no longer working as a dentist. So I'm actually doing filmmaking full time.
Wow.
Um, I'm trying very hard to reduce my carbon footprint while I'm making the films. So I'm trying to stay relatively close to home, or if I'm making a film, I will try and make it in one place. So, whereas the whale call film, I was all over the world. From here on in, I'm just focusing on one area. So I'm just finishing a film about the polar bears in Churchill, Manitoba. So I spent a prolonged period of time there filming that, and we're just finishing that film. It should be ready probably by the summertime this year. And I think it's going to be called Waiting for the Ice.
Wow.
So that's going to be a very interesting one again, focusing on polar bears and the effect climate change is having on them, which is really quite significant. And then I spent a month in Botswana filming beside the BBC. They were doing a show called Big Cats 24/7. I got to know them quite well. They were very helpful to me. I was right beside them. They're filming the lions, and I'm filming the elephants. So, looking at possibly doing a three-part series about the struggles that elephants are having because of climate change, probably relating to the lack of water or the overabundance of water when it floods from huge rains that come, talking about the food environment and talking about the effects that mankind is having on the elephants. You automatically think about poaching and removing the tusks, but probably one of the bigger areas of concern right now is the fact that the elephants are losing their food supply. So they're going into the farmlands and they're being killed by the farmers. So again, all climate change related. So those are the projects that I'm working on right now.
Wow. Wow. Amazing. I am looking forward to see your upcoming documentaries or films you are working on. And please do let us know from film festival point of view. We like to show your film again to our audience, and they already love you.
Well, thank you very much. I mean, if an old man like me can make these changes, anybody can make changes. And if an old guy like me can learn how to make videos and movies to create an impact and do something to help the world, then everybody can do something. It doesn't have to be huge. Everybody doing a little bit and changing a little bit is going to make a big impact.
Saying no to all this money making, a big industry. They we go out there and we see all this fancy clothes and things like that. Just learn the story behind it, how it's been produced, and how when we throw this clothes, how it pollute our globe. I mean, our planet Earth, Mother Nature, and try to understand every product he use. Then I think we will get the inside story. Deep down.
The little things like eliminating the use of single-use plastics.
Yeah.
No more plastic bags, no more little straws. Refuse to use a plastic straw because they're so dangerous to turtles and all kinds of other animals. They we saw a bird on the beach in where was it? It was in Argentina, and we saw a bird there, and it was filled with plastic inside it, buttons and all kinds of things that the bird had eaten and died from. So all these things that we're doing and throwing out, we can't have such a society where everything is just use it and throw it away, use it and throw it away. We have to learn how to be more sustainable in the things that we use.
Yes, it's scary world we are living in, Ron, and I'm so happy to see the person like yourself in this age fighting hard to make a change for a future for your children and their children's. And I feel it. I feel it, and I'm pretty sure people who's going to watch this interview, and they will take some information from here, and they will watch the whale call with their family, and understand the story behind it, why we are making such a documentaries, what we trying to communicate. Let's be mindful, guys. Whoever listening right now, just be mindful. Let's make some change, and let's support your own species. Yeah, I mean, You may have made the big buildings out there for your grandchildren, but if they don't have a safe environment outside, no
Yeah.
clean water outside, and no beautiful animal in this planet to see. Yeah, I mean, where are you living there? It's like you are living in some jail or something, or in a planet Mars. Yeah.
Can you imagine when our children want to go out and play and they have to wear some sort of an environmentally protective suit to be able to go out in the hot sun and to be able to withstand, the new Earth's climate. I also want to thank you and My Name is Climate Foundation for all the great work that you're doing. It's nice to see that there are people like you as well out there who are trying to make a change, and I want to congratulate you on your efforts.
Thank you so much for acknowledging us, Ron. And we are together in this journey, and we will work hard. I'm dedicating my full life for this purpose.
Let's just not wait so long that it's
Yes.
too late.
Yeah.
We have to make a change now.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Okay, Ron, anything else you want to say to the fellow filmmakers? I will say the young filmmakers who want to make a film like yourself.
Well, when you're making a film, make a film with purpose. Make sure that you're using your passions to get your point across. Be honest with what you're presenting. Um, you know, we all know about Al Gore, who started a big push on climate change information, and his theory is not to scare people. And I find I disagree with that because I think that people come away with the fact that they go, "Oh, well, it'll be okay."
Yeah.
And somebody else will do it. Let somebody else do it. I'm not gonna change my lifestyle. Let somebody else do it. And I think that that's a bad way to look at it. I think that there's a real urgency now that we have to worry about what's going on, and we have to do something about it now. And if not, it's not going to be okay. Is there hope? Yeah, but every day that goes by, the hope is diminishing, and the effects that it's going to have on the lives of our grandkids is getting worse and worse and worse every day that we don't do something about this. So, you know, it's time to start the alarms. It's time to ring that bell and turn on that siren because we've got to do something now.
Yes. We gotta do something now. Now means right now. So that's the message. That's the message from our side. Whoever is watching this video, and let's humanize the climate. Let's start to visual climate as another entity, as another human being. Call yourself a climate. My name is climate.
That's right. Exactly. It's and um we have to live with the climate, with nature. We can't think that, the anthropocentric viewpoint where everything is about us.
Yeah.
We can't do that. We live in this environment. We have to protect it. It's part of us.
Yes, it is. It is true. Thank you very much, Ron, for joining us on this platform. And thank you so much for giving us vital information. And thank you again for making such a beautiful documentary, Whale Call, by Ron Goodlin. I like everybody to watch this documentary, and Ron website, social media information, and his YouTube channel link is available right now on the screen. You can see that. Please do follow him and follow My Name is Climate as well. Thank you again. Thank you very much, Ron. My name is.
Is climate.
Thank you.
Thank you so very, very much. It was a pleasure spending time with you. And again, congratulations on the great work that your foundation is doing. And let's keep up the good work and get the word out there.
Yes. we will do that. Thank you so much, Ron.
My name is Climate. Mission humanizing climate.